This is Race for the Roster, and this week, Stephen Caldwell is making multiple changes to his World Cup projections. So here we go with another edition of Race for the Roster, where each week Stevie not only names his 26 players he thinks that Jesse Marsch will pick in Canada's World Cup squad, but also names the starting 11 for the opening game as well. So let's start by looking at that current projection, the 26 for 26 that Stevie has representing Canada next summer. Your locks to start that opening game are Jonathan David, Davies, Eustachio, Bombito and Johnston, but the other 6 spots are open for competition. Let's have a look at this week's headlines. After an outstanding European camp with Canada, Ali Ahmed continuing to push his way up Jesse Marsch's depth chart. He won a penalty and provided an assist in Vancouver's 7-0 demolition of Philadelphia. Ahmed now leads MLS in expected assists per 90 minutes, just ahead of Lionel Messi. Eyebrows were raised when Jonathan David didn't make the starting 11 for Juve against Inter Milan. David did enter the game in the 79th minute and provided an assist on the match-winning goal. And the performance of the weekend came from Dane St. Clair, who made 12 saves for Minnesota in a 3-1 win over top-of-the-table San Diego. This coming after Jesse Marsch defiantly defended St. Clair against criticism from fans, calling him the best goalie in MLS. St. Clair leads the league in save percentage and is now second in goals prevented. That takes us to the form tracker, which is an average score of each player's last 5 games. St. Clair is head and shoulders above the rest at the moment. Maxime Crépeau didn't dress this week due to the concussion he suffered playing for Canada against Romania. James Pantemis stopped 3 of 4 shots in a 2-1 Portland win over the Red Bulls. Pantemis has lost just 2 of his 15 starts for the Timbers this season. And it was a bit of a nightmare for Atlanta United's Jaden Hibbert, who allowed 5 goals on 7 shots by the Columbus Crew. So we promised you that Stevie would be making moves this week. Let's dip into it right now. What are the first moves that you're going to make, Stevie?
I'm going to make some moves to the edge of the squad. I'm going to put in Joe Waterman-Luke. I'm going to take out Jonathan Osorio. I just feel like the centre-back is actually needed within that position. And then the fact that Liam Miller is still coming back from injury, I think Junior Hoylett has to be in there. Being selected in the last camp and getting some minutes as well, he's the one that I'm going to put into the 26, and Miller is now on the outside.
OK, so here's a look at the updated bubble board. These are the last players in the squad and the first players outside pushing to get in. So Stevie now has Waterman and Hoylett in the World Cup squad, and Liam Miller and Jonathan Osorio now on the outside looking in. Now, here's the moment I've been waiting for, because it is time to lock somebody in to this starting 11 for the opening game of the World Cup at BMO Field in Toronto. So who's it going to be, Stevie?
It's going to be Richie Laryea at left back, Luke.
Not Tejon Buchanan?
Not at the moment, no.
Hold on. So you're making a lock in the starting 11, having said that Tejon Buchanan is getting closer after the hat-trick that he had in La Liga, that you were going to wait for the international break, see how things progress with Buchanan.
Yes.
And now, out of nowhere, you're locking in Richie Laryea instead of Tejon Buchanan.
I just think, I'll talk about Laryea first. He's just became so important to this team, what he brings on the pitch in terms of his ability defensively and going forward, but also that personality of his. It's very important for this team. I really see Alphonso Davies playing further ahead in that left midfield position. And so I want to lock Laryea, and I think he just brings too much. Now, with Buchanan, he's in his best form. He's in this 11. But I still think we need to see more consistency. He had a really tough year or two where he didn't play a lot of football at all through injury, through not being selected at Inter Milan. And I just want to see more of him. Yes, he did quite well in the games that he played for Canada, but I think more 90 minutes, more matches, some high-profile ones coming up at Villarreal in the next few games. Let's see how he does. I'm sure at some point he'll get locked, but not at the moment.
So the versatile Richie Laryea, who has played at right back, centre defence, left back, central midfield for his club team this season and different positions for Canada, is now locked in by Stevie to start the opening game of the World Cup at left back for Canada. That's also very interesting because it means that Stevie now has Alphonso Davies starting the World Cup on the left side of midfield. So with Richie Laryea locked, there are only 5 remaining spots up for grabs in the starting 11. Right now, Kyle Larin keeps his spot up top, despite not having played a match since late June. He wasn't in Feyenoord's matchday squad as head coach Robin van Persie says he's behind in training and on a different schedule than the rest of the team.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to get fit. He's got to get match fit, and then he has to start playing and scoring goals. Others are doing that, but I just don't see them doing enough to displace him from the starting 11. But as we mentioned, it's precarious for Kyle Laryea, and it absolutely continues to be. And at some point, time's going to run out, and one of these other guys are going to be in that starting 11, but I'm not there yet.
From Kyle Laryea, we go to his potential strike partner. Certainly Jonathan David is locked in, and the key Canadian to watch this week is Jonathan David as Juve's Champions League campaign kicks off against Dortmund. We'll see if David was just being rested on the weekend or if he's already in a fight for his starting spot within the Juventus squad.